Peace, family. Peace. Well, haven't the times changed? Family, the white man has become the new victim. The oppressor has now become the oppressed. What do you mean, Sarah Garvey? That sounds a little bit racist. We are used to, over the past 500 years, white men, not all white men, but white men taking over stuff. For the past 500 years, they've taken over countries and continents and other people's resources. We're used to that white guy. That white guy taking over countries and stuff, we're used to him. But not content with just taking over countries and whole continents. The new white man is on a new takeover. What's he taking over now? Gender. The white man has looked at women and said, I want a bit of that actually. Enter the transgender movement. Okay? White men are now telling women, you know what? I'm a man now. Oh, sorry. I'm a woman now. I'm sorry. Has anyone seen that film, Captain Phillips, with Tom Hanks, when the Somali pirates enter the ship and they say, look at me. I'm the captain now. White men are literally going over to women saying, look at me. I'm a woman now. This is my gender now. And women are like, okay. So not content with taking over everything else, white men are now taking over gender from women. And women are just supposed to be cool with that. Women, white men, specifically, I say white men because, you know, I'm going to come to the reason why I use white men and white women in this. White men are now hijacking womanhood. Men are now telling women that they now know what it is to be a woman. And I'll say this, women, these men are one, hijacking your womanhood, and two, they are belittling what it is to be a woman. Because if I, as a man, tell you I feel like a woman, my question would be, how can you feel like something you've never actually been? How can you feel like a woman if you've never actually been a woman? You see, no, what's been going on here is men have heard what women feel like and they've looked at what women look like and they've come up with this new thing as what it feels like to be a woman. Well, how would you know what it feels like? Have you ever had a smear test? Have you ever had a period? Have you ever given birth to a child? Just one of the things that actually women do actually go through. Have you ever experienced any of those things? No. So how would you know what it feels like to be a woman? You don't. In the 1900s, white women called the suffragettes, okay, were fighting for the rights to vote. They felt oppressed, not oppressed by black men, not oppressed by Chinese men. They felt oppressed by their own white man. They had a conversation with their own white man and they said, listen, you are oppressing us. We want the right to vote. And, you know, subsequent other feminist movements grew out of that, you know, the right to get equal pay, etc., etc. White women looked at their white man and said, you are oppressing us. Now, in 2019, that same white man who was the oppressor of the white woman is now looking at the woman and saying, oh my God, we're oppressed. How? Because we now identify as women and we are the more oppressed group. I'm sorry? So now you're hijacking the same womanhood, who you were oppressing in the first place. Now you're hijacking their womanhood to become the most oppressed. Now you've made that conscious decision to be a woman or to be looked at as a woman. And that is not women's fault that you are now consciously making a decision to be looked upon or identify as a woman and try to hijack womanhood and you know, slide in on somebody else's quote unquote oppression and then become the most oppressed. Now, what's interesting is that this same white woman has now flipped it in Rachel Dolezal and gone to the black community and said, hang on a minute, you see that? Look at me. This is my race now. Okay? And black people are like, huh? What? What? No, look at me. Look at me. This is my race now. Well, no, lady, it's not. Okay? And the women have the right to look at these men and say, well, no, mister, this is not your gender. However, women are silent. I can't hear your voices, women. I really can't hear your voices when these men are hijacking you, hijacking your womanhood, looking at you, telling you that they are men, and you know they're not men. You know they're not men. However, you're going to stay quiet. You see, this is interesting because there's a term that has been coined called mansplaining. You know, when men try to explain to women what it is to be a woman. This is literally the definition of mansplaining, and everybody's cool with it. Everyone's cool with it. Men are now telling women what it is to be a woman. And women are, I can't hear you. How does this man know what it is to be a woman? How? When's he ever experienced what it is to be a woman? Never. And here he is, after spending most of his life as a man, come to tell you what it is to be a woman, and transgender women are women. Oh, really? Just like Rachel Dolezal is now identifying as black, so she's black. Hell no. Listen, Rachel, I know you feel like you're black, okay? And I know you've gone through some issues as a, sorry, I'm spitting now. Sorry, you've gone through some issues as a white lady and you feel the way you do, but listen, love, you ain't black. And I'm not about to accept you as black. You know why? Because you ain't black. As simple as that. You are not black. There's nothing about you that's black. Just like there's nothing about these transgender women that are women. Women! Where are you? Where's your voice? How comes these men are telling you what it is to be a woman? They're mansplaining what womanhood is to you. An actual woman who every month has to go through her period. But no. This man is going to come tell you what it is to be a woman. You're going to be silent. But what do I know? I'm just some black guy on the internet.